Hey y'all, I'm Kayla with What's Brewing, and today I have Dr. Brennan with Rise Chiropractic with me today. Before we dive into that interview, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful B-roll. I like the way that starts out. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Kayla?
I'm great. Doing good. Super excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. It's our pleasure. So tell us a little bit, for those of you who don't know, those out there that don't know back at home, who you are, what you do. Give us a little introduction.
My name's Brennon Kelly. I was born and raised in Lafayette. I'm a graduate of St. Thomas More High, 2008. I attended college two places. I started at Millsaps College and finished at UL, so I'm a Raging Cajun. And I did my doctorate at Life University, which is in Atlanta. So I finished in Atlanta in 2017, and then we ultimately made the decision, my wife and I, to move back to hometown and start a practice.
So Broussard is hometown?
Well, I guess I grew up on Paulette Road off of Vero across from Earl's, and then in high school we moved to a subdivision off of Austin Village South, a subdivision off of Launuville.
Okay.
So like steps from that Broussard Lafayette border.
You're right, smack in that border between the two.
So not far from home at all.
Yeah. Lafayette Parish is home.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Is that what made you want to put Rise Chiropractic in Broussard?
So I almost hate to admit this because I'm embarrassed because I have a lot of hometown pride, but it wasn't our intention to even move back home. It's just that when I was in school, we learned a specialty that we looked at the map of where practitioners using this specialty were located, and basically we didn't really have anything in the SEC. So we were like, well, what better place to go and put a dot on the map than in the hometown and be able to serve the people that we love most.
Well, that came full circle.
Yeah.
And what specialty is that you're speaking of?
So the technique we use, or the system we use, is called Gonstead. It's named after a guy named Clarence Gonstead, and it's our starting point. It's essentially how we analyze a patient, how we look at an x-ray, and how we perform an adjustment. So those three things are unique to how we apply chiropractic work to people. And so I could talk for days on that, but that's the basics of what we're doing. We're a little bit different in how we look at people, and I guess if I had to sum it down to one phrase, is less is more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk more about that. Is that one thing that kind of sets you Rise apart from other chiropractic offices? Absolutely.
So it's the low-hanging fruit for us to talk about. There's a lot of things that we put a lot of effort into. We're a pediatric office. That's primarily awesome. We take care of the entire perinatal period. So whether that's preconception, prenatal care, or postpartum care, we like to take care of mom through the process as well. And then of course, baby as soon as they're born. That's really my heart in chiropractic. Gonstead is a method that can be applied to everyone. But the fact that we're one of the only ones in the South that uses this method, that's trained in this method, and the fact that it's not just technical and you wouldn't notice a difference, it's totally different. If you were looked at by us or adjusted by us, you would notice a completely different chiropractic experience. And so it's noticeable. So we kind of used that, I guess, as our way to market ourselves, put ourselves out there, and to show how we're different. But to go a step further is we really have that family approach. It's funny because parents will apologize a lot for like the ruckus that children will bring into the office, and I'm like, no. Like,
that's what we want.
We know what we signed up for. Look, I got a stain on my pants from a spit up earlier. Like, that's what we want here, So we take care of everyone. I truly believe, and when we started Rise, it was based on this concept that we believe there's a ton of health problems that people have that could be totally avoided. So there's a big difference between being proactive with your health versus being reactive with your health. I think anyone could agree on that,
Absolutely.
Right? There's a big difference between making sure something never starts in the first place versus maybe taking something to cover up symptoms for an underlying problem that may or may not even be addressable at that point.
Right.
You follow me on
Absolutely.
that? So
let's stay on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. So
instead of having to fix it.
Right, exactly. We could fix it, but it'd be much better to prevent it. That's a good point.
Exactly.
So I think that the biggest impact I can have as a chiropractor on the health of the community is to be able to make sure that a child has a clear spine and nervous system from day one so that they can develop their brain and their neurology correctly rather than having to start compensating right away and then find all these workarounds and then never get checked or never have any spinal hygiene. I mean, we take them to the dentist, right?
Right.
So why are we, being hygienic and proactive about our teeth, but not about our spine, the thing that houses our nervous system and controls every function of our body? So we're on a mission to educate our community on the importance of and the safety of chiropractic for children when applied by doctors who are trained to see the pediatric population, and the effects of what that looks like 30, 40, 50 years later, and the health problems that we could potentially avoid. We say it's much easier to raise healthy kids than it is to fix broken adults.
Yes, 100%. Great point.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having you today. I felt like that just flew by, and we got tons of knowledge. So I would like to talk to you more and kind of dabble into that community. I know y'all do some work in the community, and talk about that a little bit more. Will you join me for a part 2?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming by today, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, Kayla.
If you like what you saw with us today, please click the like button, go ahead and crush that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing we have coming your way. Until next time, I'm Kayla. Y'all have a great one.